we go. Just about through to the end of Zot 2. Just absolutely dreading the final section, of course, as always. Things get a little bit tricky in Zot 5. Though, much like was mentioned by Coville here, maybe we do want a Spellforge Servitor Lahudib's Crystal Sphere combo by the time we get to Zot 5, because if the Orbs of Fire show up in force, it definitely might be a nice solution to have in our back pocket at the very least. Not too bad. Hey, Catribrunar, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a whole lot. Oh, I should definitely be in statue form for taking on anything with poison. That's my bad there. Okie dokie. Things are going too smoothly. It's getting me back into the paranoid zone as I wonder what the heck is the game holding off in the background, just ready to pounce the second I let my guard down. There's always something. Just switch off to manual move for a bit. It's wild that we're, as a mage character, for the most part mage character, I guess very much a hybrid is probably the more sensible way to classify, but we are able to just go toe-to-toe with berserked dragons, which is normally something that puts me into immediate panic mode when I see a Moth of Wrath and a couple of dragons flying around. But apparently not today. Ain't no thing. Ooh, you know what, actually, while we're here, is there anything I would like to forget? Shadow creatures isn't really getting any use. That would give us a decent number of points. Well, I guess we do have 16, so I think we can actually afford to learn Spellforge Servitor and LCD already. I mean, why the heck not? Let's do it. Learn that, and then I think Spellforged is level 5 or 6. We're in the 5s, we're in the 5s. And it's 7, of course. I meant somewhere above 5 or 6, obviously. But that's a good combo to have just in our back pocket whenever we deem it necessary. Don't torment me, son. Perfect. Oh, what do you actually... Okay, just +3. Getting a little bit lazy in my weapon identification. Should always make sure that we're not actively running into a distortion brand. At least it wouldn't be a death sentence at this stage, and it would instead just be kind of an annoyance, is all. That is all good. Also, remembering to go into statue form right as the poisonous cloud completely envelops our body. Fun stuff. Let's see, probably doing some piercing damage with our molten lava. Should just about do it. Can finish off with a couple swishes of the katana. Perfect. That is Zot 3, just absolutely flying by in most of these sections so far. You love to see it. And only trying a little bit to bait the game into throwing all the hard stuff at me right as we came down the stairs, but fortunately not the case. If you could step to me, please, that would be much more preferable. Constriction is a bit of a pain in the butt. In fact, let's just spend a couple turns trying to escape upstairs, I think. Perfect. No need to take any unnecessary risks. We can instead just do a couple of quick little shimmies back and forth, up and down the stairs as need be. Guess maybe I should even be throwing out some manifold assaults here just to be getting some damage into the back line. And it does indeed seem to be doing the trick quite nicely. Perfect. And that's that. On the road again. and 15 scrolls of blinking. Ooh, so impressive. Almost makes me mad. There have been plenty of games where I've absolutely struggled, and all I needed was a bit of a break in terms of consumables. And yet, alack alas, when it rains it pours, I guess. Does make it almost tempting. Ooh, Orb of Fire. Let's give that a little bit more credence than we currently are. Bring in a Spellforge Servitor to help us out. Perfect. But all I was going to say is that it makes it semi-tempting to attempt to teleport our way through Zot 5. We don't even necessarily have to fight our way through the masses in the traditional sense. It's always a temptation at the very least. And Gnoll you needed was consumables. Indeed. Gnoll I needed and Gnoll I ever wanted were some consumables. We'll keep throwing some silver javelins here. Have we? Wow, we haven't been mutated yet. Wild stuff. Don't know why the code is deigning to give us that privilege and pleasure today, but I'll take it for sure. I guess maybe our Spellforge Servitor was just being mutated out the wazoo, so we were kept safe from the worst of it. But regardless, I thank the game and the game engine for all the help. Again, going off OTR, Manifold Assault. Back and forth, back and forth. You take a step to the left, a step to the right. It's that easy, folks. And then we can probably switch off to tabbing through the last bit of the encounter. I'm tabbing a bit faster than I should, I think. Especially, ooh, yes, everything's coming out of the woodwork now. Things could get interesting pretty quickly here. Great Mace, plus 8 Greatsword. Wow. Not bad. So close to Kobold Hexer. Definitely one step closer, I guess half a step closer, seeing as we still have to get the win here. And who knows how far we can get before I throw this all away. Let's go back into statue form, give us a little bit more defensive capability. I think I can survive one turn regardless here. Do a quick check. Quicksilver Bolt can do a decent amount, I guess, so maybe less safe than I initially suspected. So let's go with the healing first. The main thing here is that I want to be able to irradiate, which, ooh, we actually gained enough mana to do. Wait a second. What did I just do? Stop that. Let's try pressing the right key, Z, and irradiate these sons of guns. Then we just have to take out the Storm Dragon before we lose our statue form. But turns out we're still calling more friends to the vicinity here, which I don't love. So I could just completely F out of here with a couple of well-placed blinks. But I'm so greedy right now. I want so bad to have just a stack of those to put in my dresser when I retire. So alternatively, we could go for some fear, which wouldn't necessarily work. I guess you have pretty high willpower, all of you kids. Let's try it out. See how that gets us. Magical effects are unraveling here. So we're about to lose our statue form. I think we will just use the blink scrolls. We'll stop playing it so fast and loose here. And blink out once to here, and a second time even to here. Because at the end of the day, it would be far more embarrassing to die with 15 blink scrolls in your inventory than it is to use a couple of them when I'm just trying for no real reason whatsoever to hold out until the finish line. Even though maybe no reason whatsoever is a bit of an over-exaggeration, just because, as mentioned a minute ago, there's always the possibility that we could just chain blink our way to the orb and back out. If we really didn't feel capable of dealing with whatever's awaiting us in the final chambers of the game. that will have to wait and see, and we should still have enough to mix at least blinking and teleport, maybe just some efficacy. Come on, friends. To me, to me. Perfect. Back to that dang old purple draconian, but in a much more feasible situations. And also, hey, Eggly Bagel Face, how's it going? Nice to see you around. Okie dokie. How much am I gonna tab? Ah, about that much. Right, as soon as we get surrounded, that's where things kind of start to take a different tone, I guess. That makes sense. Also, a lot of purple draconians, so we're definitely going to be losing our statue form, or at least I thought so. Maybe not yet. Not if we can take out the last couple at the end of the day, and we do indeed manage to. Just continually manifold assaulting here to try and take all these buddies out. And perfect. Electric Golem on their own isn't too risky, especially since we don't have too much of a reliance on one type of elemental damage or the other, so that all works out wunderbar. Let us continue through. Hello, my golden pal. I'm almost tempted to see if I can't cast statue form in heavier armor. I guess, oh right, we'd have to we'd have to break our armor to do so. That's why I've been holding off. That makes sense. It's funny how quickly I forget what the heck my deity even does when it's not actively being held in front of me in a mechanical way. Because holy crap, Zot 4 is done. Me oh my. I gone well, glad to catch the end of the run, glad to have you around. And ideally, well, I guess one way or another, it will be the end of the run. Just have to see what form that takes. Okie dokie, let's guard off that area like I normally do and clear out as much as we can here. Hello, friends. Don't mind me, pardon me, excuse me. Perfect. Always goes a lot faster clearing this section than I expect. Which sucks, because I'm using it as a bit of a procrastination for actually having to face off against the lungs themselves. Ooh, not ignition, I actually wanted my Spellforged Servitor is the one. Ah, and there we go. We now finally get our first official mutation off of these bad boys. Hoodip's Crystal Spear is fairly castable for us. I think I will actually launch that out on our side of things. And with the two of us doing so, just absolutely shred that Orb of Fire. You love to see it. You believe? Very glad to hear it. Need all the support we can get. I've been a bit luckier in this series of trying to win with every species than some of the others in terms of not dying quite as often on Zot 5. I think it has happened a couple of times, but I've had a bunch of runs, especially when we were playing for the tournament and stuff. There were quite a few that ended horrifically in that regard. Let's bring statue form back, even if there are some purple draconians waiting in the back wings here. Should be good. It's always funny how sneaky Gnolls end up, just because most characters don't go for much stealth, right? It's something that I don't usually end up training on most of my characters, because I'm almost always a blaster caster, or very like sword and board kind of classic fighter style. So it is definitely a little bit different than what I'm used to. And it's such a nice ambient bonus in that sense, for sure. Don't even have to think about it, we're just completely benefiting off of its results, which is nice. Except, of course, the few times where I'm actively trying to call attention and to make friends, that's always not working out quite as well, but shouldn't complain about too much of a good thing. Just setting myself up for some horrible comedic timing. Everyone loves some good comedic irony. Oh, do you want, let's not waste too many of those fancy javelins themselves, and instead we might as well just use boomerangs if we're just, you know, calling attention to ourselves. Kind of just bringing friends our way. Hello, friends. And I'm still just very much enjoying even just the flavor of Manifold Assault. It's so fun. Everyone's exceptionally fast, while I, on the other hand, am slower than normal. I guess that's fine. We'll throw out an irradiate just to be safe here. And then let's back up into a nice hallway. Because enraged Orb Guardians can't get all the constants right in that phrase in one go, apparently. Orb Guardians getting enraged is absolutely brutal. But we have so many wand charges that we've saved up over the course of our adventure, so I'm happy to just try and corrode this buddy a bit. Ouch. Yep, that's so brutal. Dealing, I guess, like double damage probably. Can't remember, is might 1.5 and berserk double? Is berserk just equal to might 1.5? Regardless of how you slice it, it's pretty brutal. So, blinking is the most obvious escape out of this horrifying situation that we put ourselves in. I'm tempted, or at least I was tempted, my first thought was to bring in like a box of beasts, because I don't think I can die in one hit. The only issue is that the Orb Guardian can actually get in a couple hits, I think, in the intervening moments. So, in the sake of trying to play it safe, ouch, that did nothing. Good thing we have so many blink scrolls, because unfortunately, they just step right to you. That's a bad situation, and in fact, it's probably good to learn that issue right now, because we can now take note of the fact that we don't have good blink options from this opening. It's a fantastic place to fight, but it's definitely a little bit sketchy, which is good to note. But a few blasts of radiation ought to do it, and in fact it does. And for once we find ourselves without a trap on a side here. Wow. Seems like a pretty huge rarity in this day and age. Excuse me, Spellforge Servitor, if you could help out, that would be very cool of you. Good enough, I guess. Definitionally so. And you know what, let's just keep at it. We're probably making a decent amount of noise. And right, we used up all of our magic, which isn't great. Come on, Spellforge Servitor, you can do it. Nice. I like believing in our companions sometimes, letting them get in the final hits. It makes them feel good about themselves, even if they're just summons coming from another dimension. I think it's important to raise the self-esteem of anyone who is helping us out in this endeavor. Wow, both lungs were not trapped. Now I've got to be cursed, right? You've noticed servitors are a little dumb about positioning. You really do need to babysit their line of sight sometimes. You know, there are, a few summons that I'm always a bit more cautious and cognizant of that kind of thing about for sure. But definitely not too shabby in terms of our situation here. Orb of Fire has joined the conversation. So let's step back with a friend in hand here, and even use some piercing spells to just deal with the chafe here, even though I should be saving up, making sure I have the mana to take on this son of a gun. I also haven't gained any worse. No, we still just have the regeneration inhibition, which is not the end of the world for sure. Got to be a little bit careful of that, especially when I spend a few turns just kind of tabbing in spot. Always a wee bit dangerous. But Spellforge Servitors definitely proving their weight in gold there, just because they are by far, as mentioned I think a couple times by now, the most mana efficient way of dealing with a problem, to say the least. So we continue. I guess we've faced 2 orbs of fire. It doesn't feel like it. I'm normally counting orbs of fire with bated breath, but this is one of the few times where I'm not quite as concerned. We also finally, after spending the entire run looking for it, managed to pick up Ignite Poison, which is wild. It's fitting, for sure, to have it come to us in a place such as this, when it's no longer at all important. But never change, DCSS. I wouldn't expect anything else. But okay, this is where Spellforge Servitor's ability to cast spells without our magic points is definitely helping us out, as we unfortunately took a few more hits from that Ghost Moth than I was otherwise inclined to do, so this is a bit scary, but we'll do unavoidable damage, and that will take out the very squishy Hellion. No problem. Perfect. So yeah, gotta remember, Ghost Moths will not at all threat on their own, can easily take on those bad boys. Still potentially a problem to keep in mind. Ah, hello friend. Don't mind me. Excuse me, pardon me. Come on, Crystal Spheres. Then the 2 of us just hitting from both sides. Orbs of Fire never stood a chance. Absolutely lovely. And we can actually do the same prepping before they even come around the corner. Actually, did they hit the teleport trap? I'm not sure if they did. Is this the same Orb of Fire? I hate to be offensive, but all Orbs of Fire look the same to me. Who knows? And here we go. This is a time to prove that we are learning from our mistakes. Let's take the Ghost Moth way out here, just so that if anything follows in its footsteps, we're not putting ourselves into a horrifying situation. And that's perfect. Hello, friend. It must be embarrassing to train your whole life to protect the Orb of Zot, and then somebody just starts throwing boomerangs at you. You're dead before you even reach their feet. Like, I've done a lot of stupid things in this game, but that's got to be more embarrassing in many ways. G'day, mate. Indeed. Giving props to the power of Australian ammunitions. That's something that I only learned about recently, is that this game has a bunch of really fun... Oh, geez. Okay, we're marked. Things might change now. Might get a little more dire than they have been up until this point. We've been so lucky. But just to finish that thought, yeah, I didn't realize quite how many references there were to Australian things in this game. And then I saw a post that was pointing it out and talking about how, yeah, because Lindley, I believe, the original creator of DCSS, is Australian, there have been a couple of Australian editions that have been held on to and kept around for that exact reason. Most specifically, like cane toads and quokkas being very common animals in the area. I think that's super fun and something that I'd never quite or never actively realized before. I'm gonna read a Scroll of Fear just to limit ourselves a bit. We do have this berserked buddy right next to us. Fun stuff, to say the least. I don't think I can fear a berserked enemy, at least that would make sense in a lot of ways. In fact, maybe the Fear Scroll wasn't the best idea, and instead I could have just racked on some heavy damage, but can then follow it up with one blast before immediately, I think, just getting the heck out of here. The question becomes, do I risk just jumping straight to a teleport trap when I'm at low health, or do I want to use some combo blinks to get away far enough that I can then heal before teleporting myself? And I think the answer is that I'm definitely feeling lucky. Never a doubt in my mind. So let's run to a stairway to heal up. You can also get rid of all the marked status on us, which is absolutely lovely. It's definitely what you want to see. You killed their vault guard brethren and made fun of them, so now they're taking revenge. No, I definitely deserved the application of force there. That's fantastic. Ah, right, purple draconians. That's part of why I'm losing my abilities. That makes sense. I also like that I talked such a big game about ignition. Just haven't used it. Not all game. Now's about time. Let's start just absolutely blasting, shall we? Does help take out a lot of packed enemies like this, especially when they all group up like that. Perfect. Chef's kiss moment. And I'll leave that buddy to my servitor. Well done, friend. Oh, let's not be in the line of fire from my own servitor. As mentioned earlier, that is a truly embarrassing way to go. And that should just about do it. Perfect. There's still that moth of wrath somewhere, just waiting to absolutely screw me over. Oh gosh. Where are all of them? All disappeared. Well, well, well. In that case, I think we're pretty much ready to go. In a fantastic spot. In fact, let's, just for fun, I'm going to drink some mutation, shall we? We begin to regenerate again. We feel less in control of our magic, which I believe makes it harder to cast, but stronger effects. Occasionally shout uncontrollably would normally be a bad issue, but in this situation, on our exit out of the dungeon, not a big deal. Everyone's going to notice us with the pulsating power of the orb in hand. As well as being a little harder to cast. How much harder? Oh, yeah. I'm completely down with that. Great time to show up for intentional mutation. Indeed. Great time to show up in general as we just maybe have another win under our belt. Definitely have all the resources to make it happen, and I'm just waiting for my own stupidity to be the problem. Because, yeah, we used 5 blinking scrolls when I put myself into stupid situations. We still have 10. We have 7 summoning scrolls. Just looking through my inventory is a wild ride. But, alack alas, it is the end for Gnoll model here, because I definitely want to get the Gnoll win. It sucks because I've been thinking about doing a 15 rune run, but I'm going to be doing that on a distinguished day that's separate from this series. Otherwise, this would be one that would probably make the distance, but let's ignore that for now and instead do some combinations here. I'm going to read a scroll of teleport, and then I'm going to wait. Let's go like 5 turns. Oh, right. No, we're slow because of statue form. So that's embarrassing. Let's try that again, shall we? We're not in statue form. Let's read a scroll of teleport. Wait 5 turns. Perfect. Then I can pick this up, step into the teleport trap. Doesn't take me anywhere. Very cool. Then we can just flop our way out of here. And let's go. Played more Fall Guys, pretty fun times. Nice, I'm very glad that you're enjoying it, Rain. No, we'll definitely have to play that again together sometime. It was a lot of fun. But no, it's definitely a good time if you're looking for some good casual fun. Or if you want to get really into it and, you know, try your hardest to get a win each and every game, I guess it would be slightly less casual, but still a whole lot of fun, I'm guessing. Sense a monster nearby. Let's just cut out the middle person here. Shouldn't risk fighting when outside of statue form. That seems like a pretty dumb idea. But that is all good. Let's bring in a friend here just to expedite the situation or the scenario of fighting that son of a gun. And onwards and upwards we go. Panlord, okay. Who you beat? Because if you're weak enough and not scary, I definitely want to kill a Panlord. Always gotta. Every escape. As long as we're playing a character that's capable of doing so, we gotta. And don't forget the Holy Word scroll when the Panlords show up. You don't say. Well, I don't know if I've ever used a Holy Word scroll appropriately. I always tell myself I'm going to, and then just don't do it. Let's try it out. Fun. Let's do it again. Even more fun. I should probably keep these in case really scary things show up later in the run, but I'm gonna read one more. And that should be good. You don't have Chaos Touch, right? No, you're just trampling, heavy damage. Wow, you really don't do anything, do you, Susugam? Huh. Lifesavers against early vampires and skeleton knights? No, definitely something that I think I overlook. They're grouped up with, there are a few different scrolls that kind of all get thrown into a similar category for me. So it's like those and vulnerability scrolls, immolation, like they're all situational, I guess. All the situational scrolls get grouped up together, and so I end up not using any of them, but there are definitely plenty of opportunities that warrant said use. Oh wait, I just did Control G and then Enter to go back to, now it's taking me to Depths 2. I thought it was still auto set to my my D0 here. Let's get that back to being set up properly. Perfect. And hello friends, goodbye friends. Ooh, this is a scarier Panlord, it looks like, at least. Firestorm, 8d29. Fun. And this is why we get the first Panlord that shows up, because I don't have to feel bad whatsoever about just saying, screw that, and let's get the heck out of here. Also, Damnation hurts real bad. Got the Panlord, now it's a legit win. That's right, it's what it takes. You gotta do it each and every time. We could even take out 2. This is actually one that I could probably take just fine. Mind Burst isn't gonna hit us. Metal Splinters can go suck a big one. So, let's do it. Bring in a friend, because I do enjoy sharing our murder experiences with friends. And, so sorry, Zarakot. It's the end of the line for you. You're very cool looking. Giant, big old snake thing. But, end of the line. Let's keep going. I'm being way too lax in my fighting here for sure. I'm almost deserve to have been killed by this stage, but I'll take it. Ulahad here? Huh. Looking a bit scary, especially just with the situation we're in. Could just chain blinks and get out of here. Do you want to kill a bunch of Panlords? It's weird, normally I only see one on this gate, but apparently today they're just out in force. They were waiting for me. I guess they saw how promising this Gnoll was looking, and they knew that they had to do something. But let's do Condenser Vein, that's absolutely useless, because it's not the right element. Dang you, RNG. The Panlord sprites are always so cool, right? Yeah, definitely a good representation of just how scary they are. Makes you feel that much better about when you finally get the kill, too, by extension. But let's contaminate ourselves just a little bit, then we can take a step back, bring in a friend, and absolute rail on that son of a gun. Perfect. Ah, hello, friends. Another Panlord? Is there something to be said about when you kill one, do the others all know about it? Is there some kind of mental network enabled where the second one finds themselves dying, they put out an APB? Everyone find this dang Gnoll. I want that Gnoll dead. Regardless, I think I can take you. Iron Shot, little scary. Just in case, let's start with some AoE across everyone on the screen. Thanks, Railbird, for the suggestion as well. That's some good stuff for sure. Don't forget to curse your last ring just to be nice to Ash. Oh, you're not wrong. That is brilliant. Wait, did you have a silence ability? I did not see that. Oh, I should have been paying better attention. Would you look at that? You started DCSS today, want to watch a pro to see what this game is truly about? Well, glad you decided to come our way instead of finding a real pro, because I'm happy to have you, but definitely have my own struggles playing through, but always happy to see new faces getting started in the game. It's absolutely fantastic. Such a solid part of my life, and glad to be sharing it with all you lovely folk as well. So that's awesome, Korean Knife. Nagel, statue form slowing you down enough for them to show up? Oh, that's very true. Because I've been keeping my statue form pretty consistent throughout the entirety so far, I guess. Dang, old statue feet, always slowing us down. Erica gets to live today, I suppose, right? We left her behind very early on D8. But I think we will let her live. I kept telling myself we'd go back. We'll go back and kill her. We'll get her. But at this point, she deserves to live out the rest of her days. I mean, am I being kind or horrifying? Because at the end of the day, I've killed off most of her friends. So does she just have to spend the rest of eternity alone on D8? Not the best existence to relegate someone to for the rest of eternity, but it is what it is, I guess. And too late now. We're already just about out of here. So, sorry, Erica. Gonna have to leave you there. And that's a great way of putting it, Railbird. Welcome to the world of joy and frustration. DCSS is a great game. No, definitely get the 2 in spades, to say the very least. But holy moly, me oh my, there we are today, getting our win with Gnoll. Not quite our second try, even though our second real run that kind of got off the runway whatsoever. So that's super satisfying. Gnoll model never had the chance to fail, really. When you have a Gnoll model this good, they're gonna show up, you know, it's a guarantee. And you know what, let's not exit with the 6 for in the way. And, as suggested, we gotta curse that last. Oh, dang it, never cursed my scarf. Ashanzari, I'm sorry. That's fine. The ring is, you know, the ring is for us. There's a bit of a hit or miss, a playback between the two of us. We're on good terms with Ashanzari. I'm sure they won't mind. Also, thank you so much, Korean Knife, for the Prime subscription. That's awesome. I appreciate it a whole lot. And yeah, wish you the best of luck regardless of the subscription. I do wish you the best of luck in your own DCSS play moving forward as well. But thanks for the GGs all as well. Fantastic. Love to see it. And for the follow as well, Korean Knife. That's awesome. So let's get the heck out of here with far too many consumables. This is definitely the opposite end of the spectrum from a lot of the runs that I go through, because I'm usually using my consumables a bit more prodigiously throughout the course, and usually by this stage we're down to the last bare bits, but here we are. Also, cursing our scarf turned it into an awesome pattern and color combination, so totally worth it in the end. Very happy that we went through with that. But yeah, you can't help but just keep thinking of the phrase, and so I'll say it again, when it rains it pours, because this is just absolutely absurd. But I will not complain, and I'll happily take that win, putting Gnoll down into our list of victories. You absolutely love to see it. And because that was actually a little bit quicker than I otherwise might have expected, I think we will hop into another one today and just see how we can do. It's a shame your character's pants are cursed, never able to go to the restroom again, right? We have a full like intravenous setup going on. Got one of the little packages that cyclists have to use.